What's up, everybody? You just tuned in to Real Laughs on 104.1. The voice you're hearing, Mr. James Young, comedian extraordinaire. I'm the host of these Merry Comedians. Today, I am joined in the studio, as all, the virtual one at that, by Mr. Myke Hurley. Myke, how are you doing today?
Hey, good man, good. Had a busy weekend. I was over at the Orlando Improv with Josh Wolf for 4 shows, and then Sunday drove out to Sanford. Dean Napolitano had his premiere showing of his one-man show, the Bart Drive Boys.
How was that, man?
He's putting out one-man theater shows right now. It's crazy,
Nice.
man. It's crazy. It was pretty good. It's like it's a work in progress for him, but it's more.
Okay.
It's more along the lines of like Christopher Titus, John Leguizamo, where it's not all bam, bam, bam comedy. You got some drama added to it, and you can tell he put a lot of work into it, and it's just going to get bigger and better. Like this was his first time out. I think it was about an hour-long show, but of course he's looking to build it. And beautiful little theater in Sanford, man. He did a really good job with it. So hoping to see bigger and better things with it.
And Dean's style has always been a storyteller, so that's not far-fetched at all that he would do a one-man show. Honestly.
I was talking to some people after the show who came out to see it. They're like, yeah, we were wondering how Dean's comedy was going to transfer to theater. And exactly what you said, Dean's always been one of those longer story comedians. So it actually fits. It suits him perfectly. Like Dean at an open mic doing 5 minutes, not as good as Dean being able to get up there and get involved in a story, So yeah, it was really good. I was really impressed with it. And, on the car ride home back to Orlando, I was in there. In the beginning, 1976, Myke Hurley was gifted this earth, Because let's face it, dude. Let's face it, there's better money in theater shows, man. So
yeah.
Get out there and do it.
Hey, Myke, I apologize too, man. I was supposed to text you about that green room thing. My bad.
Yeah, go screw yourself. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that in a second.
Yeah,
okay, before we do that. It's okay. This is gonna be great radio. Don't be sorry. I'm happy it happened. Okay. And also, my partner in crime, the man who helped me start all this craziness, Real Laughs, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr. is in the house. Miguel, how you doing?
Good, man. If you go to my OnlyFans, you can check out my one-man show. It varies like between 3 to 5 minutes.
But it's your one-man show because only one man tunes in every week to watch you do it.
And thank you so much for him.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Now crush some grapes with your toes, and I'm just crying like
more tears.
Yeah, it's crazy. This girl I know who does OnlyFans, man, she was explaining it to me, and I'm like, you really like. People pay you to do that,
who gets the most?
It's creepy to me, man. That's
Dare,
so creepy.
You remember Dare that we had on the show, Dare Taylor? Her OnlyFans. She has different tiers of stuff, and I've sat with her, just kicked it with her, and she's explained like different stuff. She has this thing called like the girlfriend experience, and it's not even like nudes and stuff like that. It's like daily texts. Just like with a text picture, like, hey, hon, blah, 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 pictures of her outfits and stuff. And there's dudes that are like, I'm loving this. Like, it's weird, man. Like, I'm old school.
Weird
like,
me,
I need my hook to leave afterwards.
Girlfriend experience. She texts you every 10 minutes going, who's this girl liking your stuff on Facebook?
You better stop.
Use smiley face emoji. What are you doing to make her smile?
You imagine the whole girlfriend experience, and she just texts you, I'm hungry, and then you're like, where do you want to eat? She's like, I don't know.
No. For 2 hours. I don't know.
Well, give me options. I don't want to go there. And then at the end of that, they always know exactly where they want to go. You're like,
why do you say so?
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to go somewhere you wanted to go too. I don't want to go
because
there. Fine.
I will say this. That whole conversation is a trap because you say, honey, what do you want to eat? She's like, no, you pick. If you get around to after an hour and a half of fighting, you say, I want to eat here. Finally, she's like, well, I don't like that. I want to go here. Yeah. Bitch, why did you say?
I solved that real quick. I go, okay, what do you not want to eat right now? They say burritos. I'm like, Gringos, here we come. They'll come up with something else really fast.
I always just tell them, how about we just don't talk for an hour and then you tell me where you want to go and we skip the fight.
Yeah. Go we get right to makeup, sex, and tacos?
Yeah. They're like, I don't know. Let's get some food. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go sleep on the couch.
Exactly. And that other voice that you heard earlier earlier. Want to get to him, the godfather of Orlando comedy. I guess he has a story to tell because Myke had a green in incident,
Look at that
a
beard.
green room
Look
incident.
at that beard.
What happened?
More like the grandfather of Orlando comedy nowadays.
Damn.
Yo,
He said you look like. He said you
I was
the Uncle Ben's of
before I
comedy.
before I before I get to the story, Myke, Mark Klein said, well, "What's up, brother?"
Oh, Mark's great, man.
I worked with him this weekend. Super
Did
nice
you?
guy, man. Yeah, he was the headliner this weekend. Such a nice dude, man. But I had to call. So the headliner was looking for somebody to record. So me and Krista was going back and forth, and then she texts me. She says, "Hey, his management wants you to know that nobody can go in the green room. So let Myke know." She said, "Just let Myke know. Tell him I'm so sorry." I told Chris, I said, "We're old comedians. We don't care about the green room anyway. We sit at the bar anyway. We don't really care."
Yeah.
I send Myke the text, and then I take a nap. Before the show, I get to the show. I'm checking my phone and get my timer, and I look and realize the text never went through. So I text Myke at 8:15, like, "Hey, by the way, you can't go in the green room." The show had already started. So what happened, bro?
Yeah, we want to know, Myke. What happened?
Oh, nothing, man. Chris actually texted me before the show. She's like, "Hey, by the way, thanks for knocking out these shows this weekend. Looking forward to seeing you tonight. And oh, by the way, you can't go in the green room because Josh's people don't want anyone in the green room due to COVID and stuff like that."
Did you get that text in the green room? Looking at everyone.
Let me take it a little bit back. 3 weeks ago, Ken's like, "Hey, man, are you open that weekend?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm open." He's like, "Okay, well, don't get your hopes up that there's a chance you'll be working at the Improv." I'm like, "All right." Then the next week, he's like, "Hey, man, there's like a 60% chance you're going to be working at the Improv next week." I'm like, "Okay." And then the week of, he's like, "Hey, man, there's like 100,000% chance you're going to be at the Improv this week." I'm like, "So I should still wait for a text from Chris?" He's like, "Yeah, probably." So then Chris had texted me like an hour before showtime. "Hey, you're doing the 4 shows this weekend at the Improv, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there." And then she's like, "Okay, you can't go in the green room because of COVID." I'm like, "All right, fine." I've never met Josh Wolf. I hear he's a nice guy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
I was hoping that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, so then, he shows up and he's got his feature with him, and the feature brought his wife with him, and the feature is out of New York, moved to Tampa. So now they're out of Tampa, but they all know each other. So they're like in the green room.
Zumach?
No, it was Kenny Garcia.
Kenny Garcia.
So nice enough guy. So I go to Miles because Chris is not there. I go to the assistant GM. I'm like, "Hey, man, do they want me to go back there and get intros, or do you guys want to grab it and bring it out to me? I don't know how stiff they are on this nobody in the green room thing." He's like, no, man, go back there and grab it. So I go back there. It's, the feature, his wife and Josh, and I just grab intros and we talk about swapping out mics and stuff like that. Everything's fine. So all weekend, if I'm not on stage, I'm wearing my mask. Like if I'm in the showroom, I'm wearing my mask. I don't go out. I don't do merch. I don't do meet and greet or anything. Josh Wolf does a big deal about not doing merch, not doing meet and greet. But his feature out there, every set, not wearing a mask, meet and greet everybody with his wife, shaking hands, talking, and then walks right back into the green room. So by like Saturday, I'm sitting there going, "You know what? Now I'm feeling this is kind of personal." Because if you were really concerned about like COVID and spreading stuff, then you wouldn't let anyone else in the green room, even if you know them. And especially if you know them, you wouldn't be cool with someone out there hanging out without a mask, doing a meet and greet, and then coming back. Because at that point, you might as well have been out there doing a meet and greet, shaking hands. But I didn't mind, man. He was a really nice guy. Gave me some good compliments on my set and stuff like that. And you know how it is. Like Ken said, we're old enough to care. Dude, even not during COVID, I've had people say, "Hey, the headliner wants the green room to himself." Fine,
like,
you're the headliner.
Right.
Yours.
Good with me,
Tell
man.
you the truth, I'm just going to go into the lobby because there's a secret room that's much nicer than the green room out there, and that's where I'm going to hang, man.
Yeah, cool with me, man. Yeah. Josh, we were texting back and forth because we were trying to find a video person for him to record a set, and he was super cool, man. He's like, "Hey, this is Josh Wolf, man. Much obliged. I appreciate you helping me." And I said, "Hey, I'm a comic. I'm not a video guy," because Richie Lala told him that I do video. I said, "I'm not a video guy," I said, "but I'm just here to help." He says, "Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much." And then finally, I got tired of it. And I said, "Krista, can you please find somebody? Because I don't got time to keep going back and forth with people. I got to get a nap. I got to take my nap. I got to take my
exactly.
nap."
You know what?
There's some other texts I don't need to send.
I walked in Saturday. The shows Friday were a lot of fun. Both shows Friday were a lot of fun. I walked in Saturday night, and they had this full-on camera set up, like the good one, with not just some guy with a handy cam. I mean, he had the big box frame around it and everything else. And he was like in his 50s. So, he got brought in for this. This guy's not showing up just to do 2 comedy shows. And Krista came up to me after the first show, which I had a great set. And she came up, she's like, hey, I think the videographer is just recording the whole show. And I'm like, well, I didn't see the red light on when I was up there, so I don't think so. And she's like, no, I'm pretty sure he's recording all the sets. So then we did the second show, and I didn't go back there and say, hey, can you record my set this time? Because, once you say turn that camera on, stuff goes wrong.
Oh, the gods curse you. The gods curse you when you record.
So I just didn't say anything, but then I was on stage having a great second show going, man, I should have told them to turn that camera on.
Yeah.
And then after the show, I went up to him and I was just like, hey, man, any chance you caught any of my set? He's like, yeah, I got both your shows tonight. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, are you with the club? I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, I'll send you a link. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to finally having some decent video again, because I don't know if I told you guys, but my hard drive that has had all my stand-up video on it since 2009, 10, I went to plug it in 2 weeks ago, and everyththing's gone. Lost everything. No, if you see my video since 2010, it's probably a good thing it's disappeared.
Hey, Myke, I was going to say, there's a curse when you try to tell somebody to record you, or you tell them to give you a long intro, a soliloquy of like, hey, man, say this, because I got people here to see me.
An intro. Yeah.
Yes.
Curse when you give somebody just an intro.
Oh,
all
my
you gotta
God.
say is real laughs on Real Radio.
That's it.
104.1, and they're like, "Yo, this guy's got a real funny show on the radio."
Oh yeah, sound like Chris. You sound like Chris Alexander, bro.
Yeah, we got a good friend named John Charles. Me and Myke, man. I remember I was hosting at Universal Studios years ago. He said, James, my mom is here. I really want to impress her. She's never really seen me perform. Bro, will you give me the intro of a lifetime? So, man, I get excited. I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to give this dude the best intro of his life. So I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now, one of the funniest people on the planet. This guy used to tour with Jesus. He delivers babies in his part-time job. He's amazing. You're going to love him. His mom's in the audience, John Charles. And people like clapping. Oh, my God. He gets up and bombs for 30 minutes straight in front of his mama.
Make you a liar.
At least the intro was fire.
Yeah, it was. Bro, I was excited when I got done, bro. 30 minutes he bombed.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I never forget.
The camera thing gets you. Because when I came back, the first weekend the Improv opened, I had a brand new set and I wanted to record it because I was going to put it up on Instagram. Every time Dwayne put the camera up, the set was awful. When he wasn't recording, I'm killing. I said, man, I'm never gonna get this new material.
Same thing. I was thinking about you Friday night, because same thing that happened to you your first week back from COVID at the Improv. I was like, man, debates were last night. I wrote this hot 2-3 minute take that's not going to offend either side, but everybody's going to enjoy it. Everybody's going to laugh. And I was like, do I want to try it out? I haven't even said this out loud. I'm like, man, it's me. They're going to love it. I'm going to open with it. I'm going to open with it. I went out, dude, it was 2.5 minutes of just silence while I was spewing out these things that I saw. And dude, I went back into the old stuff, got laughs on the first one. Second show I came back, I'm like, screw all that noise. All that, just bam, bam, pound it back out.
Not me, Myke.
Hey guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more hilarity here on Real Laughs 104.1. We're going to be talking about Latin holidays when we get back. Welcome back, everybody. You are still hanging with the Real Laughs crew right here on Real Radio 104.1. I'm James John, your host tonight. I'm hanging with Miguel Colon Jr., Miguel and Myke and Ken Miller, the Orlando comedy. Okay, is it the Godfather, or can I still call? Is it Grandfather or Godfather? Which one we gonna go with?
It's Grandfather, the way I've been texting this week.
With your jitterbug phone with the big buttons.
With the, what was it? The T9. I gotta hit the
calculator.
I'll get to you in a second, Mikey.
Dude, I enlarged my my font size on my phone. Yeah. And it takes me, sometimes I forget that I did that. So I just look at my text. I'm like, I never knew that word was hyphenated. I'm just going through going, that's it. All together is hyphenated? What? Oh, never mind. That's me.
That's you.
Oh, boy, you needed glasses bad, bro.
You did, Myke. You really did, brother. Are you okay? Speaking of that, last week we talked about the fact you just got glasses and you were trying to get acclimated to how they make things seem slanted. Are you better now? You all right?
I haven't taken him out of the case since that conversation.
Yeah.
These are my cheaters. These are the,
the
just
reading
simple
glasses?
magnifying reading glasses. Yeah, man. I put on those other ones, dude. It's like all the fun of acid without acid,
Yeah.
So it's like I stepped outside and literally I went off the curb kind of wonky because I thought the curb was there and it was not.
Mike Crip walked on accident.
Ken talked about mowing his lawn. He's like, yeah, progressives suck when you're mowing the lawn because, you're looking down. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to mow the lawn. I wear my sunglasses for that. But then I was just eating in a restaurant, looking down at my fries, and they just went all like,
and they're crinkle.
I'm like,
crinkle fries.
I'm like, they pitched me these glasses. I was like, yeah, it's great because you can read up close and see far away and everything else. But if I need them on to order and have to take them off to eat, they're not convenient.
Yeah.
Every time you put the glasses on, Jefferson's Airplane just plays.
One pill
makes you.
I spent all that money on Molly and acid, and I could just bought a $300 pair of glasses.
I don't know why. Whenever I put my mask on, just because it obstructs this, it obstructs everything for me. When I'm wearing a mask now, I'm like knocking into stuff, like it's really throwing things off.
It messes you up because you focus on the part of the mask you can see, right?
That's
Instead of
all I'm
looking where you're
looking
supposed
at.
to.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
that was
bro.
the other thing too. I paid like $80 extra to get these anti-fog lenses, and once you throw them on, you're wearing your mask. Like I tried to wear them at the Improv the other night because I'm like, I'll wear my new glasses on stage. Maybe if they think I'm smarter, the jokes will be funnier. I put it over and they fogged right up. I'm like,
right.
I'll be blind. I don't give.
Yeah,
it works for Eric Watts.
Whoa! Hey,
whoa, Mike.
32, 53.
7 people listening, and none of them care.
You know what? Casey can find it, earn his money this week. I don't
Easter
give a damn.
There you go. Okay, all right. All right. Now it's a party. Now we're having
check this out though, guys. I think it was 300 years, I think 200 years from the invention of the monocle to the glasses. It took 200 years for them to be like, maybe we should
add another one.
Yeah, and a little arm on the ear.
You should have seen the bad vision in just one eye.
Yeah,
just one eye, bro.
Yeah.
Just it. You just like this. That's it.
And then they're like, hey, you know how you should hold it? By squinting on. Yeah. Like you think we should put like a strap or a band on it? No, listen, just solid glass that you hold between your eye. Nothing wrong can go there.
Yeah, I really picked up this new theory that if I need glasses to see it, it ain't worth being seen. That's how it is.
You don't need to see the individual leaves. You know they're on a tree. You get the gist of it.
We're in Florida. It's all straight roads. We're good.
Yeah. I don't need to see the spots on the gecko. I know it's a gecko.
Nuh-uh. Well, I wanted to bring something up to you guys. It's a very special Latin holiday, Miguel, and I know you're Latin brother, so I wanted to shout you out. It is Monday. It's October 26th, almost, Halloween, but today is a special day, Miguel. Do you know what today is, brother?
What's today?
It is National Pit Bull Awareness. So, brother, I just wanted to tell you.
Whether you mean the rapper or the dog, it's special.
It's the same.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, James. Is school in Kissimmee and Point Siena out today?
Yes. There's a parade. Nothing but pit bulls and scared white people. It's amazing out there.
Worldwide.
You know what always trips me out though, James? When I see an ad and it's like, we have these red-nosed blue tick alligator pits for $3,000 a piece. I'm like, who cares? Like, I think pit bulls are cool dogs because they're always lovable when they're raised right. They're always
when they're raised right.
But here's the thing, man. Like, who cares that much about a pit bull that they're like, I spent $3,000. I got this one from Big Boys, pure breed pit bulls in Atlanta. I'm like, they're stupid, beautiful dogs, but it's not like they do anything cool. It's not like I bought this Australian sheep hound and now he can round my sheep up.
To me, growing up, No, they don't. Like in neighborhoods, though, growing up where I grew up, man, we didn't grow up in the best neighborhoods. It was always a tough guy thing to have a pit bull. It was
Yeah.
always the guy trying to play Billy Badass. He always had, a pit bull. He walk around the neighborhood, no shirt on,
I want to
whatnot.
be cooler. I want to have like 6 coyotes on a leash and be like, don't even listen to
Yeah.
anything. They straight up attacked me every day since I got them.
And those are the guys that usually turn out they're like all bark, no bite. The guys you gotta be scared of are like the guys like Angelo Cianfrocco that walk around with like a teacup poodle on their hand the whole time, and you're like, I can't see his finger. Where's his finger? I can't see his finger.
How do you think the dog knows when to bark?
Yeah,
man, Angelo dog bit me at the other bar, bro.
Did he really?
For real?
Yeah, Angelo, yeah, man. I went to go. He's like, yeah. I was like, hey, man. He's like, he doesn't like black people. I said, yo,
wow.
I said, I'm about to beat this dog with a. That's why little dogs scare me more than big dogs, bro.
Angelo's like, I didn't pay $500 in training for nothing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Two Jewish guys walk up. He's like, Ken, get me a box. The dog's about to go ape.
Hey, guys, we're all okay. We're all comedians, but we're all getting up there in age. I know, Miguel, you're still in your 30s, but the rest of us are in our mid 40s. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely worry sometimes about what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, because we all want to be successful comics and make money solely doing our job as a comedian, but man, we are not young anymore. So we're on a time clock. I think it's a ticker, and it's like, you better get some stuff going or you're going to be broke when you're old. So I'm always thinking about, how long do I stay in this game before I try to get a real job? And then I read a story about a guy that has a birthday today, and I did not know that he went through all of this. I know he's successful now. He's a very famous actor slash comedian. I'm talking about Mr. Seth Macfarlane. It's his birthday, the creator of Family Guy. It's his birthday today. And you talk about perseverance. You talking about getting slapped down many, many times, but he stuck with it, and look at him now. You guys know the Family Guy, right? You know a little bit about the history. Well, I was reading about it, man. He started the show in 1999, and every time they would try to bring the show out, they always put him against a show that was an absolute juggernaut. He didn't have like the best shot for the show to do well. Like the second year he was out, he went against Frasier. So of course he didn't do well. Frasier was everybody's joint back in the day, all the older people. The second time they bring him out, he went up against Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. When that show first came out, it was the biggest show at night.
It was Regis, right? Wasn't it
Regis? Yeah. The next time he came out, there's a new show coming out about all these people that are friends that keep meeting up at this coffee shop. They put him up against Friends the next year. Of course, they have to cancel him after that, because all the shows he went kicked the crap out of this dude. So he stuck with it, and they finally released all the old episodes on DVD. And that's what caused that resurgence of Family Guy. It sold like 400,000 copies in 1 week, and they decided to bring this show back after that. So now the show has won Emmys. It's done very well. It's been on for many, many years. But I'm just thinking, how long can I hang on before I'm like, bro, I got to get a real job, or my kids are going to have to take care of me because I have not made it yet? Y'all ever think about that?
Well, I didn't want to bring this up, and I've been putting it off, but nobody's listened to this show in like 5 months, guys. Like, I don't really send this to the station after we record. Like, I just do this every week because I know this is all some of you have. This is the difference between you guys talking to a razor blade tonight or not. So I've just been recording this. I know you don't listen to the radio like most of the world nowadays. So yeah, maybe this is the best time to tell you. Yeah, this was just survival, guys.
Myke, I didn't realize until one night I turned on the radio and I heard them just playing like a Ronco ad for a chicken rotisserie, and I was like, "Damn, our show sounds good tonight."
Yeah, true story. It was a Monday. I was driving somewhere, and I turned on 104.1, and I hear Ken's voice. I'm like, "Ken didn't record with us this week." And like, I call up James, and the station ended up playing our Monday the week before episode, and they're like, "Oh, it was a mistake," but that just goes to show. No one cares what we're saying.
No one cares.
No one's listening. That's why I'm not going to delete any of those out from earlier.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They keep saying we can't go to the station right now because of COVID. I swung by one day. Everybody was in there. They were partying. I was like, "What's going on, guys?" They were like, and they just close the door all slow.
Yeah. Like slowly through like shaking their head disapprovingly, like no. But you guys ever think about that? Like, we're not young right now. We got to get something going, you would think. So you ever think, Ken, like you might have to do anything different,
it's so
man?
funny, man. I was gonna talk about it on my episode Thursday about how I'm actually starting to turn down gigs because of my regular job. I can't do that. Dude, you know, people want you to drive 3.5 hours. They don't want to give you a room. And then I got to drive right back home. And it's 2:00 in the morning. And I got to work. And, you know,
you work early though. You work at 7 o'clock.
I'm just getting to the point now. I'm old with it, man. I'm like, if you're not going to give me a hotel, I'm just not doing them anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't care what type of money it is, man. I just dude, like Port Charlotte gave me a hotel, and even the drive back from Port Charlotte, I was about to fall asleep. Like I'm that old guy now. Like I'm just like I had to put the Dave Chappelle, the David Letterman thing on Netflix, and I listened to that while I was driving. I don't say I'm a quit. I've been selective with gigs because, you know, 5 years ago, I didn't mind driving 4 hours. Now I'm like, is it really worth it?
Well, you know? I think with all of us, the thing has always been, you know, you take stand up and you use it to get a sitcom, or you use it to get a movie, or you use it to get something bigger. So now when you go back to stand up, you're filling up places on your name alone because they know you from the other stuff. I think we've all worked the Groucho's circuits and the smaller clubs where you're working. When we were featuring, you're working with the headliner who's just been a road comic since the 80s. And it's a lot of times sad. You're looking at this guy who's driving all this way to make $150, $200, and you're like, man, I can't let that be who I become. And now we finally hit that point where it's like, I guess that's who I've become, because you never got that credit. But at the same time, this, you know, like I tell people, this is how I earn my money, man. What else are you going to do? So now I understand why these guys kept going out, because what are they going to do? They're going to be 60 years old trying to start over in a new profession. You know, even if they could do it great, they're the low man on the totem pole. I don't want to work weekends unless I got to work weekends, you know?
Amen, bro. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I'm like, damn, man, how long can I hold out? Because I'm not young, man. My knees tell me every morning that I'm not young anymore. So I'm like, I can't go back to food service. That's a young man's gig. I can cook, I can manage, but bro, the hours you have to work.
Look at it this way, man. You might not have the fame level you thought in your head you were going to get, but at the end of the day, you got your own TV show. You're on a radio show. You're doing good, man. You're doing better than 90% of the people who do the stand-up comedy thing. So just 100%. Hang in there, man, because I need the paycheck. You go, I lose everything.
But like I said, I sound great on paper. Like James sounds amazing on paper. But man, I look like hell in person. I'm just saying.
That's why, man. Also, man, keep your ear to the youth. Like I was saying, like there's a point where you see the kids rising, help them get some gigs, get some money off of that. Be a baseball scout. You know, you don't got the arm anymore, but you can still pick a winner.
Yeah,
I do like the business side.
That works, Ken, right? When you help someone out all the way to the top, it always comes back to you, right?
Hey, man, you see the bump bed?
Hey,
get a cut.
Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be licking Ken's wounds when we get right back here on Real Radio 104.1. Welcome back, everybody. You are still rocking with Real Laughs on 104.1 Real Radio. I'm your host, Mr. James John. I am joined in virtual studio with the grandfather of Orlando comedy, Ken Miller. Whose granddaddy is this? That's right. Miguel Colon Jr. I love that. And Myke Herlihy from the obligatory podcast. Myke, you guys are back, man. How's that going for you?
Ah, man, we've taken a lot of weeks off already. You know,
I thought Myke had gave up. I'm like, I haven't seen anything. I've just seen Pedro. I haven't seen any of
y'all. That's a different show.
They got the Nah Dude podcast going on. I'm like, dude, tell you the truth, I don't even fight it. I'm like, hey, man, we recording this week? He's like, no, I'm like, I don't need an explanation, man. Just, I'm good.
Yeah. Let's not lie to one another at this point. We know what this is.
He's because it's always drive out to, you know, he was living in Ocoee, and now he's living even further up by Lake Apopka and stuff. So if I have an excuse not to go up there, I just take it and run with it.
It's like being on the company softball team.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is a good idea. And then you're like, no, I don't have to come to the game.
Explain to me this.
Cool.
How come we're on a Clear Channel iHeart network and we can get together via this 2 times a week, but to record a podcast that only his mom listens to, I got to drive 45 minutes each way every week.
That's because of this energy, Myke. Brother. The energy, Myke.
Yeah. Now we got one donor in our Patreon. I think it's a girl that drops her kid off at his karate class and he gives her a discount. So it all balances out, you know.
Wow.
Yo, but again, it's so funny you say about the softball team. One of my homeboys had me sign up for over 30 basketball league. I'm like, yo, I'm in.
I'm in.
Bro, this dude showed up to 2 games. I'm like, bro, why would you get me to sign up and you never play? Like you never got me to sign up and he never. That's the league I got kicked out of. I got banned from.
Speaking of which,
why you got? Okay, never mind.
I need your help, man, because I told you I was going to basketball hoop for the boys, right? So I got a basketball hoop for the boys. It's one of those ones that you fill water in the base.
Yeah.
Pull it back
you
and
can
roll
put
it down.
on them down.
And we live on a cul-de-sac, and I got my son's various size, like the junior balls, and then it's still 7.5 feet is the lowest it goes. So for Ollie, who's 6, it's a little high, but I got one of those little tiny, souvenir type balls, and he's doing granny shots with that. Here's my situation. Both my kids kind of take after me athletically, meaning they have no skill.
Oh, they're powerhouses.
But just 2 houses down, a family moved in, and they got 2 sons. They look to be about 14, and maybe one's more like 10, 11. And since we got the basketball hoop, they kind of come out when we're playing basketball, and kind of do stuff in front of their house. But I can tell they're eyeing the net. And all I want to do is invite them down to let them play. But here's the problem, Ken. I don't want to invite them over when they're just going to be slamming on my kids. And my kids are trying to learn to play basketball. I don't want them to be like, getting their other kids' junk in their face when they're doing
but that's how they learn, Mike.
That's how they learn.
They gotta get dunked on. They gotta get shook,
because all the hatred in the world right now comes from white people getting beat at basketball handedly all the time.
That's why you get a hockey rink in front of your house too, Mike.
Dude, I got the rollerblades. We can make this happen.
Yeah, you guys want to play a little hockey? What's that? It's called ice.
Don't let the dudes come down there get a jump on, or just tell them they can't dunk on the goal.
Yeah, I actually told the kid. I saw them the other day when I was leaving for my gigs Friday night, and the kid was out front of his house. I rolled down the window. I'm like, "Hey guys, even if you don't see my kids out there playing with the hoop, you guys are more than welcome anytime to go ahead and use the hoop. Just treat it like your own. Same thing. Don't hang on the rim and stuff like that. But go ahead, shoot baskets." And they were like, "Really?" I'm like, yeah, what am I going to do with it? My kids are going to get tired of it in a month anyway. So if you guys want to go,
this is the rule you got to pass. I remember this.
There you go.
I remember this rule in the cul-de-sac I live. The dude was like, anytime you want to play on the hoop, he was like between, and he gave us hours. He was like, you knock on the door and ask. This way you could say, hey, no, I got people coming over or something.
Or we're watching a movie or something. Yeah.
And it keeps people from thinking they could just bring 5 of their friends over. Not trying to be bad.
That's a good point.
But they're just going to bring a couple of their friends. And it also gave us things where I remember the dude and his wife would be like, yeah, is there any way you boys can help us move this? That we're like, sure. Because we're like, hey, we'll help you out because we got a hoop to play on. So give us a swing by.
That's probably better. Maybe I'll switch that in lieu of the $10 an hour thing I started charging.
See, we were different,
Mike.
I lived
the capitalist in me is like, no, you did the right thing.
Yeah, we didn't have a roll-up court. We had an actual basketball court, but then
with the metal nets.
With the metal nets. But then we moved out the projects into some houses because my mom got married to a guy that was making some money. Then they got divorced. We moved back to the project, but that's a whole nother story.
Damn, but the kid saw heaven for a little bit.
Oh, we was in heaven, dude. The kid across the street from me, it was a black neighborhood where they
he didn't have that much all money, black. Ken.
Bro, he had a basketball goal in his backyard, and I'm like, yo, you got a basketball? I mean, it was built in, not like It was a built-in, dude. We were at this kid's house every day. We shot, man. We walked through his house, and we would shoot hoops all day, and then we moved.
Went back to the project court where you get your ball stolen.
Where my ball gets stolen, was surrounded by a fence.
Yo, wasn't the worst when you show up to a court like that with a ball and there's like 5 older dudes and they like, oh, cool, and then they take your ball to play. You play like 2 games
ball.
with them. And then you try to go and they won't give you your ball back.
You can't do nothing.
And your mom gets pissed at you because she bought the ball. She bought the good ball for you.
She mad at you.
Oh, you come back, you just got stolen from by the older dudes who laughed as you walked away with no ball, and now you come home with this ragged-ass ball.
Yo, let me tell you something. Do not go to a hood basketball court with the good basketball.
Never go to the basketball.
And then if you go and you got a homeboy with you, one of y'all got to stay. One of y'all got to stay. You can't go home without your ball, bro. Your mama gonna kill you. Do not go with the good ball. Dude, as soon as you walk up, they be like, oh, Ken got the good ball. Let me get that ball, little dude. Bounce it. Oh, we using this one.
Yeah. And then
can I play? Can I get in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
And remember this too. If you have the ball, you get to play. So don't suck too. Sometimes you can't. Don't. I literally remember walking up to a court, seeing a bunch of dudes taking it serious, be like, "Well, I'm turning around, going home," because they're gonna be like, "Cool, man, little man, you with me? You got the ball," and then you're gonna get your ass kicked because you can't sit a pickup.
How come there's always that one dude that takes the game so serious when you're playing outside that he always wants to fight somebody in the middle of the game?
That's half.
There's always that one street dude
because he ain't make it pro.
Yeah. Yeah,
we had an elementary school across the street from my parents' house. So we had a This was before schools worried about getting sued during the off hours. So you were allowed to go play. Now they got fences up, which I think sucks because as a kid, we played hockey up there, basketball. And now it's all, that was public money that paid for it. Now they fence it all off. And it's like, guess what? If you want to go to a park, you got to drive across town.
Yeah.
But we used to go, and the kid that always tripped me out when we were playing basketball was the kid who would lose an article of clothing every time he started losing. Like, the hat's coming off. Yes, I got to take my watch off. Shirt's coming off. And pretty soon he's like slamming. He's like, yeah, no one guarded me. It's like, dude, you're naked, man. Nobody wanted to get laid when you went for a layup. It's like
the craziest thing I ever saw. There was a court called Kitty Court in Charleston, South Carolina, on the Navy base, which was a real ball in court. It was an old house that just the foundation was left, so they put two goals up. So it was a court that was just a concrete slab, with two goals up, and they were like 8 foot, so everyone could dunk. Like if you had ups, you could dunk on it. And I saw a dude call a technical foul. He was like, "Oh, that's a tech." And everybody's like, people are elbowing people, and they're like, is it a foul?
It's street ball.
Yeah.
He called a technical foul, and the court just got quiet because nobody had ever addressed this issue. Like, are there technical fouls? He's like, "What's this, jersey?"
Bro, I ain't never in my life heard a technical foul.
That's like in the longest yard when they're sitting there throwing elbows the whole time. And Ab Sandler gets that last shot, and the guy's like, "Foul! What?
Foul? What?" He like swipes his hand. Foul.
Yeah, man, Mike, I agree with you, man. I hate that my kids don't have it to where you could just go to the school. Like the schools had places you can hoop. So what happened was the first housing project I lived in, they ended up gating off the school, but the baseball field, the football field, the basketball court, the pool was next to the rec center. So they end up taking it down and opening it up for us so we can use the rec center. We can use all of that. So that was all, like you said, it's public. Taxpayer money, that's open to anybody. You can just go play. But they did end up fencing the school part off. So what was that was on the school ground you couldn't play on.
Yeah, see, all the stuff that we played on was part of the school. So, like, when they fenced it off, they were like, I guess they had someone during the summer get hurt on the court, and they end up suing the school because, if you're not going to cover, it's your property, and I got hurt on it.
Which is so stupid. Like
it is.
I come to your place and I get hurt, and I get to sue you because my clumsy ass.
I got scars on the bridge of my nose from hockey sticks. I got scars from here. Not once did I ever come home and my parents are like, "We're going to make some money off this." They're like, well, damn it. Why'd you let that happen?
If I came home hurt, my mom would be pissed at me. Like, why you hurt? Like she wouldn't be concerned. Be like, what? That's your fault for being a dumbass. Yeah, go back outside.
Yeah. When I broke the patella bone in my knee, and man, them dudes had to carry me home. My knee was the size of a watermelon. My mama said, "You going to school Monday?" I'm like, "I can't walk, mama." Like, I cannot. My mama, I was like, "Mama, so I didn't go to school Monday. I'm still sitting here swole. Like my joint broke." I'm like, "Mama, you gotta take me. I gotta take out work, take you." Then she took me like, "I can't believe my baby got hurt over there, knee busted." I'm like, "No, you don't see the watermelon woman? It was huge, bro." My mama didn't take me to the hospital for 3 days, bro. Damn. So that's why with my kids, I'm different. My kids sneeze, I'm like, "We gone. Let's go.
Let's go.
We go to the hospital." I've never, my mama, dude. I mean, what time I broke my hand, dude. I punched something, and she'd take me to the hospital, and then I ended up going to the school clinic and realized my hand was broke.
No, man, I
Jesus,
don't play
Ken.
around with my kids. There's so much stuff Aiden wants to do now that I'm like, dude, I'm not telling you you shouldn't do that because I don't think you can do it. I'm telling you that because I don't think you understand the insurance we have.
Yeah.
Like, I know that
Yeah.
you're brave, but my pockets don't go that deep. No, you
Yeah,
can't
man.
skateboard.
Yeah.
I'm like, you bump into stuff walking around the house. I'm not putting you down there with pebbles and
My
wheels.
insurance is anytime something happens to me, I go to Disney World and then say it happened there.
There you go.
Like,
There you
I
go.
come in there
I-
bleeding from my artery, and I'm like, oh, gotta get on. The
Why do I
road.
feel like this segment's gonna end up in court someday?
Yeah, right.
Yep. My spot is Walmart. Oh, they always dropping stuff. It's like it's every day there. They don't care.
Walmart, they'll roll your ass to the parking lot outside of the gas station. Be like, it happened there,
Dude. There is cameras everywhere now. There was some guy on a Burger King security camera that they showed him fill up a cup of Coke, pour it on the ground, put the cup back down, walk over, and do the slow get down, lay down on his back, and start screaming like, I slipped.
Well, guys, we're about to be out of time here, so I want to ask you really quick 2 questions. First question for Ken: Halloween coming up. You taking the kids trick or treating?
No, they are going to hand out candy. I'm actually going to be a Side Splitters headlining this weekend.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it's gonna be a great show. Go check out Ken.
Yeah, Pete Lee dropped out, and I guess they were like, "Well, let's get somebody local."
Gotcha.
They need a feature.
I was gonna say.
Let me ask.
There you go. Hey, Mike, you gonna be anywhere? Maybe Side Splitters?
Maybe Side Splitters. Yeah. It looks like the kids, depending on the neighborhood, some people are opening up for trick or treating. Stuff like that. So I might take them over at Kevin White's neighborhood and
Davenport. Good area.
Yeah, because it's more walking around, looking at other kids' costumes. The fun part of it, So
gotcha.
Yeah.
You booked anywhere, Miguel? You gonna be anywhere, man?
Nah, man, we're doing our 21st annual Drunk People in Costumes Halloween party at the Sausage Castle for the members. So I'll be there this whole Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we bought a bunch of carnival equipment, which, as a chief financial officer of Who You Know Productions, I was totally against. But as a homeboy who just wants to ride carnival equipment, I was like, this is the best stupid purchase we ever made.
That's right. Well, I will be at home just relaxing, giving out candy because my kids are too old to trick or treat. So on behalf of everybody that's here, Miguel Colon Jr., Ken Miller, and Mike Hurley, myself, James John, y'all have a wonderful, safe Halloween. We'll see you next week.
Or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey,
or tomorrow.